Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Monday, May 2nd, 2022. Stand up for your country. Important broadcast tonight for you, your family, your finances, all of that. We're going to be very precise as we try to be every night, but I hope you hang with us for the entire broadcast. Now, things with President Biden are actually getting worse, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So the financial markets are wobbling. They capitulated last week, and there's only one reason this is happening. It's the Wall Street titans, the head of the corporations and the people who hedge fund and all of that. They now know that Joe Biden is not going to improve on the job. Okay? It's over for him. Things will stay the same or get worse, and they're not very good right now financially. Consumers continue to spend. People are working. Wages are rising, but not nearly as fast as inflation. And now, with the financial markets losing confidence in the Biden administration, we're in for a rough ride there in the stock market. And that affects every American, even if you don't have stocks. Now, my personal advice to you is not to panic. But there is going to be pain. And just don't look at your statements. I mean, just turn away. Remember, if you don't sell, there's always a chance you come back. Will it get worse? Yes. But I don't expect a catastrophe like 1929. So the markets, they go down and they come back. But nobody can predict when or anything like that. But if you panic, that loss is in stone forever. Just remember that. So April, the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 5%. The S&P down 9%. And NASDAQ down a whopping 14%. Now, if you don't know what that means, that's fine. I hope you all do have some person you trust giving you financial advice. But all you need to know is April was the turning point for the financial markets and Joe Biden. Okay? Now, what does Biden think about all this? I'm not going to get into demeaning the man like, oh, he couldn't possibly understand or anything. That doesn't do anybody any good. But let's go first to his own analysis. Go.
Sir, how concerned are you about a recession, given the GDP report today showed a contraction of 1.4% in the fourth quarter?
Well, I'm not concerned about a recession. And I mean, you're always concerned about a recession, but the GDP, fell to 1.4%. But here's the deal. We also had last quarter consumer spending and business investment and residential investment increased at significant rates.
Okay. You can always find some kind of economic improvement. I'm not concerned about a recession. Well, I am concerned about a recession. This is just hope, all right? It's like when Barack Obama first ran for president, hope and change. Well, change is gone, not going to be any change, but hope is what Biden has. That's all he has, okay? So the stock market, look, I got about 23% of my assets in stocks. Now, I had what they call stop losses on a lot of them. They got stopped out. I sold. I made profits on most of those stocks, so I'm okay. The other stocks that I have, I'm not gonna sell. All right, I'm gonna hold them, and might take 2 years, might take 4 years. Okay, but at this point, that's my strategy. If that changes, I will tell you. Now, the reason that the markets are going away from Joe Biden, remember, a lot of these moguls voted for him. They hated Trump. On Wall Street, Trump was a very good businessman, but Wall Street never really appreciated that. They just hated him. A lot of Wall Street money went into trying to elect Joe Biden. Remember that. So why have they turned? It's him. It's, bad policies, inflation, attacking fossil fuel, border, Afghanistan, but it's mostly him. Now, what do I mean when I say that? Roll the tape.
We're going to seize their yachts. their luxury homes and other ill-begotten gains of Putin's kleptocracy, and the guys who are the kleptocracies.
Now, I thought that the sign language lady there, was going to, what do? He can't speak. He makes no sense a lot of the time. People know he's diminished. He's going to be 80 years old later on this year. And as I wrote in my message of the day about gloating, which is not going to get anybody anywhere, Joe Biden's not Paul McCartney. McCartney's going to be 80 next month, and apparently he can remember the lyrics to his songs because he's on tour. Joe Biden couldn't even sing the refrain to Hey Jude. Now, if you know that song, you know how clever I am in my writing. But anyway, it's him. Okay? So I looked up Jimmy Carter, and it was Jimmy Carter. It was the same thing. I looked up him midterm election. The House and Senate went GOP because Carter was screwing up. Anybody alive then remembers the gas lines, remember how befuddled he was, he didn't know what to do. Okay, this is Biden. And Carter got whacked in the midterms. Biden will get whacked as well. Now, the run-up in September, the stock market may start to build that in. But again, this is a guess on my part. And I don't want you buying or selling on guesses. Okay, so to wrap up the talking points memo, it's not going to get any better. Biden may be forced to do stuff on the border to close it up a little. Maybe. He doesn't want to. Inflation, I don't know how that's going to be tamed. You're now going to see high gas prices go to 4th of July, then they'll taper off a little after Labor Day. They may come down a bit because they are artificially manipulated to some extent. And again, the corporate moguls, even though they've turned on Biden, they don't want Trump back. They don't. Though if they can manipulate here and there, they're going to. But I'm on it. I'm watching them and all that. And that is the memo. So the president had nothing on his schedule today. I don't count giving out medals to Boy Scouts. I'm sorry, I was on it. Except that he's celebrating Eid al-Fitr, breaking the fast in Islamic. So this is the end of Ramadan. Okay, that's fine. He wants to celebrate Eid al-Fitr. I have no problem with that. I like when everybody in the country is involved and has, something acknowledged. I like that. Okay, now this is a great story, so hang with me. So last week you remember that Alejandro Mayorkas, who's on his way out as the Homeland Security Chief, he won't be there much longer, he announces a Disinformation Board. This is great. I love this. All right, so the Disinformation Governance Board is to point out false information to the American public. And Alejandro makes that announcement. Roll the tape.
Right.
China,
we know the
Iran.
problems, but it's still not clear to me how this governance board will act. What will it do?
So what it does is it works to ensure that the way in which we address threats, the connectivity between threats and acts of violence are addressed without infringing on free speech, protecting civil rights and civil liberties, the right of privacy. And the board, this working group, internal working group, will draw from best practices and communicate those best practices to the operators, because the board does not have operational authority.
That is the biggest bunch of gobbledygook I have ever heard, I think, in my entire career. What the deuce did the guy say? So let me translate for you. This is bogus. It has no authority whatsoever. It's not going to do anything. This is Mad Magazine. Do they still sell that? Mayorkas should be Alfred E. Newman. I mean, what? Me worry? This is so much garbage. There isn't enough sanitation trucks in the world. There aren't enough sanitation trucks in the world to pick it up. Now, the problem is that people hear this and they panic. I got emails, the violation of freedom of speech. They're going to get us. They're coming to get us. Some now, they're going to get guys with guns to come and get us. I mean, really. It's nothing. Nothing at all. Another diversion from Alejandro, who knows the border is totally open with migrants and narcotics flowing across in record numbers. So he's going to establish a disinformation board? Oh, come on. I mean, it's just, and when I see the conservative media taking the bait, driving all of their listeners and viewers into this frenzy of indignation, and it means nothing. And this is the kicker. They're putting a woman named Nina Jankowicz, age 33, in charge of this. Okay? So who is this? I don't know who she is. She sings some Mary Poppins thing on TikTok, I guess. I don't care. We looked her up. All she is a pundit. He's writes for the New York Times, Washington Post, The Atlantic, PBS, CNN, BBC, NPR, and every left-wing thing that you can think of. So this is the czarina of accurate information? Come on. Holly the Terror Dog is more qualified to run the Disinformation Governance Board than what's her name? Nina. It's just crazy. I don't even know if Nina's going to get paid for this. If she does, it'll be on our dime. We'll pay for it. But don't worry about this. It's just another in a long line of BS from the worst administration possibly in American history, although I don't think he's going to top James Buchanan, as I said. AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, is the leading conservative advocacy and benefits organization in America. I am an AMAC member, and you should be too. AMAC gives you access to exclusive benefits, insightful takes on today's news, and a magazine full of uncensored content that you will not find anywhere else. Most importantly, AMAC is working tirelessly to preserve the freedoms enshrined and secured by our Constitution. AMAC has become one of the most impactful organizations in America because more than just talk, AMAC gets things done. They are pushing back against the efforts to defund our police, weaken the borders, and replace your freedom with government control. But they need your help. Stand with me and more than 2 million patriots and join AMAC today at amac.us. That's AMAC.us. amac.us, and tell them O'Reilly sent you. All right, new poll conducted by Schoen Cooperman Research on big tech companies. This is another thing. Hysteria over Elon Musk taking over Twitter. All right, this is 1,015 U.S. adults. Survey taken by telephone. 79% worry big tech has too much power over news and publishing. 78% feel big tech manipulates the news and publishing industries for their own gain. 77% agree with the following statement. Congress needs to rein in big tech by passing reforms. Okay? Now, one of those reforms is the Journalism Competition and Preservation Act, or JCPA. Now, this has been in play for almost a year. It's introduced by a bunch of senators, but it's gotten nowhere. And now I'm going to bring in a guy who took this poll, who's going to explain to me all of this. Doug Schoen is a friend, a political strategist on the Democrat side. He's the author of the book, America, Unite or Die, How to Save Our Democracy. He joins us now from New York City. So what is JCPA exactly? What would that do if it's ever passed?
Yeah, if it's passed, Bill, and I do hope it will be, it would provide some compensation from the tech companies to the newspapers and periodicals whose content they use on their sites. Put another way, if people use your content, they ought to pay for it, particularly if they're as rich as big tech.
Okay, so this is just basically a compensation bill. Why hasn't it gotten up for law? McConnell doesn't like it, or why hasn't it gotten up for
Because
vote?
of big tech's power across the board, Bill, they have systematically blocked it. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't have wide dissemination of content. It's all good, but pay people for their content in a way that's fair and equitable.
Okay, I don't have any beef with that. But I think most people don't care about that. They want some kind of government regulation of who's banned on social media, what is taken off, what is allowed on. They want some kind of supervisory capacity by the federal government. Isn't that what your poll showed?
No, I think our poll shows that they are afraid that big tech, acting on their own, has been an untrammeled force of, frankly, coercion. And as you alluded to with Elon Musk, a sense that somehow if the wrong people get in charge of a number of our outlets, it'll be bad. I frankly worry, I don't want the left or the right or anyone controlling our social media, our technology, and I sure don't want to be told by a tech company what I should or shouldn't read or what I should or shouldn't do.
Yeah, but that's the way it is now. And the only body who could regulate it would be the federal government, and most conservatives don't trust the federal government. And we've got, Mark Zuckerberg, the Facebook guy, pumping $430 million into very selected voting precincts in the last election. You've got Twitter banning the president of the United States, Donald Trump, from its forum. I would say this is out of control right now, but I don't know how you fix it.
Yeah, Bill, I'm just suggesting that about 80% of the American people believe there is a huge problem, agree with you that it is out of control. And I'm not saying I have a fix, but I sure think just pay people for their content is a small first step in the right direction.
Okay,
but bottom
I'm
line,
not
Bill,
disputing that. Go ahead, bottom
Bill,
line.
you're right. Big tech is out of control. The president shouldn't be barred. I disagree with him on most things. We ought to hear from him, even if I disagree or you disagree. And
Absolutely.
I think Elon Musk taking over Twitter is got to be a step in the right direction. Because
I hope it will be, but it's so complicated because there are 6,000 tweets a second in this world. So nobody could possibly regulate them all. And a lot of those tweets defame people. They cause children bullying and all of that. It is every front. This out of control social media is causing harm. Every front. But who's going to wave the magic wand, Doug, and solve this problem when you have such an enormous flow of whatever you want to call it, information or opinion, into these companies? They can't do it.
I understand that, Bill, but the kind of common sense centrism that you bring to bear is the kind of judgment we need rather than ideological leftists like the one
there's no doubt.
were
But even I consider myself a pretty savvy guy.
You are.
I don't know how I would solve this thing other than maybe designating political commentary here, social there, having stated rules that you have to follow, posted. But even if you have them posted, who's going to take them off and on? You got to hire human beings to do that. These people are rooted in Silicon Valley. That's an 80% far left play out there. Where are they going to suddenly move to Iowa? I mean, all of this is in play. It's just crazy what's happening in this world, not just in the country. When you have the Russian government has a Twitter account that they can use every day, and Donald Trump doesn't, Doug, it's out of control, don't you? Right?
Of course it is. Of course it is. That's why I say it's a step in the right direction for Elon Musk to take over, because hopefully we will redress the balance and allow the right back on in a way that's fair and reasonable.
I hope so. Okay, let's get to your party, the Democratic Party. You know, Doug, your party doesn't exist anymore. You know that. It's run, and with the help of social media and the corporate media, it's run by far left people now. There's no Democratic Party. There's no party of the Kennedys anymore. That's gone. Am I wrong?
Bill, I wish I could tell you you're wrong. You're all too right. We elected Joe Biden and got Bernie Sanders. AOC and Bernie set policy, not those of us in the center, common sense, Clinton, Kennedy Democrats.
Did you vote for Biden?
I did. I regret it now.
So you wish now that you had voted for Trump?
I didn't say that, but I.
Well, yeah, it was one or the other, Doug. It was nobody else.
You know, Bill,
could have stayed home, I guess.
You don't have to exercise a franchise for every office. Bottom line, Joe Biden is not a man I could vote to reelect. I couldn't really vote for his policies. Donald Trump has done a number of things that I can't accept, but you're allowed in America to reject both sides.
All right, so that's interesting take you have, because that's what I think is going to happen to the Democrats in November. I think a lot of them are just going to stay home. They're not going to run out and vote for Republicans. They're just not going to show up. And I'm talking specifically African Americans and the minority communities that have bolstered the Democratic Party. They can't be going in with any enthusiasm when they're getting their butt kicked by inflation, can they?
No, the polling we've done shows that they are discouraged, and they're the victims of crime, and they're the ones who the defund the police movement impacts most directly.
No doubt about it. The poor in America are getting hurt badly by the Biden administration, whereas they did not get hurt, at least economically, by the Trump administration. Doug,
and if the Republicans, Bill, are able to inculcate that message of inclusiveness of minorities in support of free market capitalism, there could be a political revolution.
Yeah, I'm not sure they can do that, but we'll see. Thanks, Doug. As always great talking
Bill,
to you.
Great pleasure always. Thank you.
Okay. If you are stuck in a timeshare and you haven't called Lone Star Transfer yet, what are you waiting for? Lone Star Transfer has helped more than 16,000 happy customers. They are family-owned, have a 99% success rate. Their process is done legally, ethically, and quickly. I mean, does it get better than that? The team at Lone Star Transfer will keep you informed every step of the way until you are legally and permanently released from your timeshare. So don't pay another penny for a timeshare you don't use. Get peace of mind today with Lone Star Transfer. They guarantee the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. Give Lone Star Transfer a call for a free no-obligation consultation. 855-551-7066, 855-551-7066, or online at lonestartransfer.com. Here is the final thought of the day on Wednesday, May 11th, 9 Eastern. We make it that way, so 6 o'clock Pacific. I will be live here answering your questions about anything you want. The book, absolutely. Politics, social stuff, nutrition, finance. Now, mostly concierge members get this because that's what they pay for. If you're a BillO'Reilly.com concierge member, you ask me any question, and within 24 hours, I answer it. Okay? Anything. Now we're opening that up for one night only for everybody. You can ask whatever you want to ask. I can't get to all of them because I'm sure we'll have thousands of questions, but get the questions in now. Send to BillO'Reilly.com, just put a little heading. All right, May 11th, Town Hall. Here's my question. So I have them, okay? And we always have a lot of fun with these, but only premium and concierge members on BillO'Reilly.com can see it. That's it. That's one of the perks for you guys. So I'm saying, premium membership, concierge membership, it's worth it. It's not that expensive. And you're going to get back way more than you put in, just on discounts alone, gift giving alone, and financial advice alone. Well, concierge members, I mean, all day long, you know, they're worried, and they should be worried. And I tell you what I am doing. Okay, this is what I am doing. Can't give financial advice, but I can tell you what I'm doing. Does that make sense? So anyway, I'm looking forward to it. May 11th, we'll be promoting it, but this is the big promotion now. So I don't want to hammer it, you know, too hard. If you become a premium member or a concierge member, you get a free copy, and we'll get that copy out to you right away of Killing the Killers or any of my other books. 19 million of my books in print. Can you believe that? Now, our advance sale for Killers is huge. All right, it's big. It'll be interesting to see the New York Times, and they almost have to, because we buy our books from Ingram, which reports to all of the bestseller lists. And we've had a bigger than Killing the Mob, and Killing the Mob was big. A big advance sale for Killing the Mob. Remember, Killing the Mob was #1 9 consecutive weeks. All right, last year at this time. And we're going to twin up Killing the Mob with Killing the Killers for Father's Day. You'll be able to buy the two books at a special price. But I was very gratified to see Killing the Killers, a serious book. Okay, it's not, this is stuff you really need to know, particularly in the light of what Russia is threatening. Where do you see what our weapon systems are? And nobody's ever had this before. Where do you see what we have? And a lot of that's because of Trump. And if I'm Putin, and he knows what we have, you better watch your butt, pal. And a lot of these weapons, these high-tech weapons, were used in killing the terrorists. And nobody knows, because there's no reporting on it. It's all national security. Anyway, May 11th, Wednesday, 9 Eastern, Town Hall, premium and concierge members on BillO'Reilly.com. Please sign up, and we will see you tomorrow. The war in Europe is a kind of chaos where foreign identity thieves love to target American homeowners. The crime is home title theft. It is exploding in the USA, and no, you are not covered by homeowners insurance or common ID theft services. The problem is the title to all of our homes kept online. An identity thief knows his big payday is as easy as forging your signature stating you sold your home to him. Now he'll take out a loan and another loan against your home, and you won't even know it until the collection calls start or you get an eviction notice. So how do you protect your home from title theft? Register your address at HomeTitleLock.com to see if you are a victim already. Go to HomeTitleLock.com, HomeTitleLock.com.
Bill O'Reilly is back on TV and only on The First. No Spin News, every weeknight at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on The First.